What's up, y'all? I'm Trent Sanderson and you're on the infamous Living Room Network. Divine power is always working for us because we're trying to do right. This is Relationship Week here on LRN, the Living Room Network, and we've been talking about some very, very interesting stuff for those of you who out there are in relationships or looking to get in relationships. If you dating, whatever you're doing, this is stuff that you really want to know. And so with that being said, let's get right down into it. Having sex could ruin your life. Now you're probably thinking like, how is this so? How can sex actually ruin my life? Well, the truth is, first things first, one thing you do need to know about sex is that it is a benefit to your life. It is a benefit to your well-being. It helps get rid of a lot of negative feelings, as a matter of fact. But as soon as you get done, sometimes it's like, oh my God, the world on my shoulders again. That being said, some people think that sex is overrated. Is that true? I don't know. I'll let you speak up and let your voice be heard. First things first, we need to know that sex is actually a soul tie. Now, I don't know what all this stuff they got out nowadays talking about being twin flames, significant others, soulmate or whatever, but I do know one thing. To me, personally, I feel like sex is a soul tie. When you have sex with somebody, it's like that person exposes you to a whole nother side of them that you never knew existed. It's like all of a sudden they just change. Now she really, really loves you. Or better yet, now he act like he don't even know you. Now this is really, really messed up. This is something that's not good, but this is something that we must figure out. There has to be a problem there. So what are these feelings that we're going through as individuals up until the point that we have sex, that we feel good in the moment, but then right after we feel back normal again? Why is it that we feel like there needs to be something more there? If you didn't watch my recent video, why women don't know how to appeal to men or how to keep any man interested from a male's point of view, I'm gonna need you to go watch those videos as soon as you get through watching this video. Those videos are for ladies, but this video here is for men and women. So I need you to continue to pay attention. So yes, sex is a real, true soul tie. Believe it or not, women, but that man does feel you on a much more deeper level after he has sex with you. He might not say it, but he's thinking about you everywhere he go. As soon as he get done, he's definitely thinking about you then, because it's like, man, he really scored. He really put the nail in the coffin. He really made a touchdown. When somebody scores and make a touchdown, they begin to celebrate. Now, I don't know if he invited you to the party, but he's probably partying right now somewhere. Or if he's your boyfriend or he's your husband, he's probably partying on the inside. It could be macho sometimes, but that doesn't mean we have feelings. That doesn't mean that we don't have a heart. So to men, yes, we feel this soul tie. We feel this much deeper feeling to have sex, and when we are having sex, and after we have sex, just like a woman does. And so it's a soul tie. It's a soul tie. No matter how much you want to stay away from that person, if you guys continue to have sex, you're going to be doing it over and over and over again, because sex is really that strong of a feeling, especially if he's doing it right. Yeah, you know what I mean. The next thing I want to talk about on how sex could ruin your life is this. And this is a bummer. As you know, we have many different technological devices nowadays, and many people have access to everything. As a matter of fact, I was just talking to a friend of mine just recently, and they was telling me how their young son could actually look up something on Google and find it. And I guess I wonder what I think he may have been looking up. Wow, I want to know. Let's go look at the cookies and the history. So with that being said, nowadays, nothing is behind a veil anymore. Nothing is a secret anymore, especially now that we have Google. Everything is exposed. So what do? We're in times where we want those soul ties, in those moments where we really need that sex, and those moments we're thinking about previous memories of the times that we did do it with certain people. We're aroused, we're feeling good. Oh my God, I just need something right now. So we type it in, we go to Google, and they have this thing called pornography. So, as we know, pornography is a billion-dollar industry, because I know that most people at some point in their life have experienced watching pornography. And we know that this is just to stimulate the emotion and the desire to actually have sex in that very moment, a pleasure, something pleasing, something intense. But at the same time, something that could ruin your life if you do not know how to use it properly. So what this does is that it has an effect on your mind as an individual. And so you may live your life, being a regular normal person that nobody ever really knows who watches pornography. But on the inside, you could be dealing with feelings of old memories from when you watched it so many times over and over and over again. And so you begin to walk out thinking about and seeing everybody as the next big sex icon or your sex victim. And if this is perpetuated over and over enough through many different times of watching and through repetition, then you could literally contaminate your mind if you're not careful, and it will lead you into disasters or disastrous relationships. It will put you in situations that you can't handle. Men, it will put you in situations with women that you probably didn't want to have sex with, but you're doing it just because this is what you do on a regular basis anyway, is watch pornography. Now let's be real. Let's state the facts. Like I said, for the most part, I know everybody has attempted or watched pornography at some point in their lives. So that's another reason how sex could ruin your life. The next reason is having sex for all the wrong reasons. Don't you just find yourself having sex for all the wrong reasons? As a matter of fact, you do it, but then you take it back. You later regret it, like, oh, I should not have ever just let him in the bosom. Or men, you're like, man, I should have never bust that, because now I have to deal with her emotional side. And oh man, I don't really have the time for her emotional side because I have other women on the side that I'm dating and that I'm having sex with anyway. I just simply don't have the time. But I did bust the. So ladies, here's what I'm gonna need you to do. I'm gonna need you to make sure that you're not having or choosing men to be around to have sex with for the wrong reasons. But that's very hard. Who knows? But like I said, I do have some videos that you can go watch after you watch this video that could help you solve those problems. Please make sure you speak up, let your voice be known, and subscribe. So most guys nowadays are doing a locker room talk, as Mr. Donald Trump will say, and they're like, you know what, I F that, or I hit that, I smashed that, but I wonder what the ladies say over there. They probably be like, it was sure good, girl. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of conversations going on over there in the women's locker room as well. You know why? Because that's life. And if you're not careful, sex could also ruin your life. The next thing is sex can actually waste your time. If you're not careful, you will find yourself having more sex than you're actually making money. Oh my God, you can't even go to work because you're having sex with the person that you work with, and then you get fired all of a sudden. Why did they fire me? I mean, you never know what the situation could resort to if you're not doing the right thing at the right times with the right people. So don't never get in a situation where sex is actually taken away from your time. I know some guys who walk around, live life, call themselves great men of valor, very respected men. You would never guess that they do the things that they do. But believe it or not, these men, only thing they think about is having sex. It's like, man, when can you ever really move on with your life and have new aspirations and new goals to do something else with your life? Because having all this sex, and every time we conversate, sex is the topic of the conversation, it seems to be wasting your life and consuming you. So bruh, do not be the next man who's wasting all their lives' time just having sex. Come on, man, there's a lot more feelings and highs you can get off life than just having sex every other day. I didn't realize till later how important it was to have sex. But on top of that, the icing on the cake was like, you know what? It's actually more important if you know the time, the place to actually do it. What I'm saying is, I realized that I could also be wasting my time having sex if I'm not careful, and it could ruin my life. In a good way, Don't get it twisted. I'm just trying to get you to be intelligent about having sex. The next thing is, sex could ruin your life in your marriage. If you're not careful, you can find yourself having sex with another man or another woman outside of your marriage, and this will really hurt your significant other. This will hurt worse than anything that you ever done to that person. I'm afraid this time she just might not get back with you, bro, because once that pop, the fun done already stopped. But don't let me get you twisted. There are some people out there who forgive and forget. So maybe you are lucky enough to have that person that will forgive you of having sex with another person. So overall, when it comes down to marriage, I would say it is really not worth it to have sex with the next person. Yeah. It may seem like you would be winning something. It may seem like you would be, getting something more than what you already have. But I guarantee you, and I know you can vouch with me on this one, but I guarantee you, as soon as it's over, you're going to be like, what was that? That's all it was? I know it has to be more. Snap back to reality after the sex. Okay, the next reason why sex can ruin your life is because you could meet the wrong person, have sex with that person, and probably get a disease. You could probably catch something, and this could really ruin your life. Me personally, I actually know people who caught sexually transmitted diseases. And the stories I had to hear, oh man, they were crazy. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is that it is really that real. The person who has the sexually transmitted disease probably walked by you today, whether it was in a local grocery store, whether you were walking to the movies, whatever you were doing, you probably walked by somebody that had a sexually transmitted disease and you just didn't know. You just been lucky and fortunate enough not to catch one. So I want you to still continue to be that lucky person by being smart about having sex, because having sex could ruin your life. Last but not least, one of the main reasons why sex can ruin your life, and it has ruined people's lives up into an extent, because they came back to the realization of themselves that they don't have to live their life like this. And I'm talking about people that have been molested. People that have been molested were probably holding a secret for such a long time, being touched by somebody at a small age, and they got 23, 24 years old, or maybe even 30 some even. And they finally came to the realization that, you know what, I'm not going to let this ruin my life. So if you're a person out there who has been molested, you know exactly what I'm talking about and how detrimental to your well-being it could be. But if you're not a person out there who was never molested, you don't know the half of the reality that these folks have to deal with. Molestation is very real, and usually most of the time it's sexual molestation. And we've seen it happen over and over again, how this ruins people's lives. So what I'm trying to get you to realize here is that at the end of the day, you have to be smart about having sex. You have to use sex for what it really is. Sex is all about coming together with your significant other, or whomever the person may be. I'm hoping it be a significant other, and you doing something meaningful. It's almost so serious that it could be a milestone in your life, because it shouldn't be happening that much anyway, because everybody has a person out there made just for them. And it's up to you to find that person through all the right ways. Don't just try to go around having sex with everybody and expecting to find your dream husband or your dream wife. Sex is not about figuring out who somebody really is. You do that up front. You figure out who that person is up front. And like the good book says, you wait till you married and have sex. If I could do it all over again, that's what I would have done. Because having sex after you were married, it makes things much more politically correct. The definition of sex is male and female. Male and female must be understanding of one another at all times. You can't take this for granted. You can't use this to your advantage. Sex is a power. Sex could make you or it could break you. That's why making love is best. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I'm Trent Henderson. I hope this resonated with you. This is Relationship Week on the Living Room Network. Please make sure you subscribe, speak up, let your voice be heard. Until then, peace.